go get tiny hands.
Tiny hands? Okay.
As a prompt.
By the way, we're live. Yeah. Yeah.
Friday.
One of these days, we're going to figure out how to just make that just outstanding lead into this live stream and hook instead
We're
of just,
talking about tiny hands.
yeah, or me half the time just act. There's a button over there that you can hit. Oh, do y'all want to hear Amber? Yeah, here you go.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
So there's a button over here that you can hit to just select the live stream, and then there's a second button to hit to go live. Or there's a button that does both, and half the time I hit both of them, I'm like, oh, Amber, we're live now.
Afternoon
Jeremiah,
coffee.
why are you anxious? Man, talk to us. Yes, it has been a day of, yeah, I needed coffee. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna make coffee.
Lots of brain work. Brain.
Yeah, so we had training last week, and this is an off week, and yeah, I would love to say that we just kind of hang out and drink coffee on the off weeks, but no, we're either repairing stuff, which doesn't happen often, or we're making upgrades. And man, we are making some serious upgrades to the training center right now. So that's kept us.
And to our brains.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're right. We've been making some serious upgrades to our brains too.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, but so what always happened since we were here last? First of all, Amber, do you want to talk about? Whoops. Do you want to talk about? Oh man, where's my mouse? There we go. Do you want to talk about that?
Talk about it.
Talk to us about it.
We entered into a little competition here in the great state of Virginia, and we won first.
Yes. So it was really cool too. So this was the coolest items manufactured in Virginia, and there were a lot of different categories. And yes,
So fun.
yes, and
So
so
fun.
I think one thing we try. Well, you guys are part of our community. I hope you realize that you're a big part of our community. So we have a lot of we'll call it national, or a lot of you are coming worldwide. But we go to automate. We go to we oh well, Giovanni, I just saw that. Yeah, we typically would go to automation fair. We did not go to automation fair this week because we had one, we had a few things going on. We also have two new drivers, and we didn't feel like that was quite the move to make right now. But we do all this stuff. We'll call it nationwide, but it's like, man, I really would love a community right here in Virginia
Mhm.
a little bit, because it frustrates me. I mean, it's one of those funny things. It frustrates me and makes me so super proud of our training is our number one and number two state are Texas and California. About as far away from Virginia as you can get. And then, you know what I do? All of a sudden, somebody from Virginia makes an inquiry. I'm like, oh, there's somebody in Virginia. But, I was surprised at a lot of the, manufacturers that are in Virginia that you don't even realize, Skill Chainsaws. I didn't know they were here.
NASA.
Yeah,
NASA
yeah. Well,
stuff in Virginia.
yeah, when the new NASA at one time was in, but you're kind of like, I don't think they do anything here now. NASA has still had good sized presence here. But yeah, it was kind of cool. It was a cool event. Amber got me dressed up.
I did. He wore black
Semi.
on black.
Yeah, semi dressed up. Let's see. Do I have a picture of us? Oh, here you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you do.
yeah. Let's see. So here. Oh,
I think this is before the
yeah,
moment.
look at there. Aren't we so cute?
We're
So
cute.
yeah,
We clean up real nice.
we do. She gets that out of me like twice a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, about twice a year.
Yeah. And the week before that, though, however, so I have been kind of out and about this year, and I've got to meet a lot of great, one, leaders in manufacturing and industry. Two, I've got to meet new faces of women in manufacturing.
She went to two events.
I did.
Yeah.
And I did go to a local event that was in Richmond, Virginia, and
Virginia Manufacturing Association.
Women in Manufacturing, yep, with
Yeah.
VMA.
Yeah.
And their panel was for women from the shipyard,
Mm-hmm.
which is, Norfolk, and because where that runs, you have is that the Atlantic or hi?
Oh, who we got?
We have a shipment.
Oh,
How are you?
So Amber is going for a second because FedEx just came in, but yes, it was a very fun event. She'll be back to finish filling them up here in a second. But all right, Amber, come on. Come on. Come on.
Trying to call, sorry.
Come on, Amber. Hey, Amber. Amber. Good grief. Trying to get her back in here. I'm out. You're the one telling the story. Right now I'm trying to drink you. There you go. She's back.
Anyway, it was I think it was the Norfolk shipyard ladies. Anyway, it was very powerful and informative, and I don't know. It was really good.
Mm-hmm.
It was really good, but I'm tired.
I think we both say, we traveled a little too much here. And so we're trying to, I think, take the rest of the year off. I think.
The rest of the
Now that's funny that you say that because even Giovanni asking if I was Automation Fair Sunday, I almost sprung it on Amber. I'm like, I think I might grab a plane ticket and fly out to Automation Fair. But then I'm like, she probably may not take that well.
That's not true.
Yes, but yeah, well, thank you very much, Jeremiah, for voting as much as you can. I really appreciate that. And yeah, hey, Junior Board of Directors, how are you doing? Hey, Jeff Kuiper and Joseph, go ahead and put your question in the chat about the PLC-5. I am very rusty at Data Highway. What I'll say about Data Highway right away is it's bulletproof once you get it set up. And it can be a nightmare to get set up. And the one thing I have found time and time again with it is, especially when we're making upgrades to a control logics, PLC-5 would run without the terminating resistors on the end of it. It just really was very noise immune. But I had one project where we were converting a PLC-5 to a control logics, and we would put the control logics in, the network would go down right away. We could plug the PLC-5 back in, it'd work again. And it took us a while to find out. The terminating resistors had never been installed on that network, and it's been in there for like 30 years. So,
Ooh, good afternoon. How would you program and ladder a queue system for 5 items based on the highest numerical value?
well, the easiest way would be the sort function. And I don't have a video on that. That would be a really cool thing to make a video on. But look at the sort instruction. That's going to be the easiest way. See, Hank, I'm planning on bringing the girls to Automate 2025. See, Hank, I'm trying to remember. Are you in Calgary? No, you're further, because I know it's in Detroit this year, but you're way over in Calgary. Is that right? Where are you? I don't even remember. See, Jeff Kuiper, resistors are just 1756.
Resistance is futile.
Oh, you mean you never had to put them on the PLC-5? Wow. I didn't know that. Well, I knew they were missing. I know that network would not work. And I know it drove us crazy. But, oh yeah, there definitely must, but weren't they supposed to be there with the PLC-5? Oh, you're about 2 hours from Detroit. Very cool, Hank. Looking forward to seeing them.
I cannot wait to meet them in person.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to have fun things for them.
You'll have to find some fun things for them. Let's see. And then, oh yeah. So, what's really cool is when you actually are around town and you find a spotted, which I found one in a brewery. It was so exciting. I've never been so excited over a spotted sticker. I found one at a local brewery that I didn't put there, and I'm like, awesome. But then we did the what do you call it? The college
Like
day
or open house.
Open house at our local community college, and we're walking in, and there's one of our TW stickers. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, the kids, they did a tour of the local community college. I think they're both probably heading there. So
Yep.
and
They have a little bit of a plan happening.
well, and it's so stressful because it's like, who on this call, or is it a call? It's a video.
It's a video. It's
Who
a live
on this-
stream.
It's a live stream. Who on this stream at 17 or 16 and 17 years old, one, had a plan to do what they're doing today? Probably none, but also even had a clue what they wanted to do, and they've, all they've known is to get up and go to school for the last, 11, 12 years. And all of a sudden we're saying, well, what do you want to do the rest of your life? Well, they know things they see public facing, such as, the service industry. They know what their parents do. That's about it.
I didn't really know what I wanted to do for a living or what I wanted out of my life until I can honestly say this past year. I'm dead serious. Like, I think that it takes a while to. I remember even when we were younger, you would say, I want to be that person when I grow up. Or then, 20 years go by and you're like, oh, yeah, I'm totally going to grow up and be that person. And now here we are. And I'm like, I'm the grown up and I am that person.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else has been going on?
I thought Aaron Prather made a good email. He made a good email. He did. He made a good email. His English is much better than mine.
Words be hard.
Uh-huh. But let's see, I'm gonna pop this out. Where's my button to do this? Oh, that's not what I wanted. But there. Hey, you know something? That sometimes we just try to get where we can get. Well, struggling, guys. But anyway, he was talking about the robot density in the US compared to other places. And where'd that go, Amber? Oh my gosh. All I wanted to do was show an email. And
Okay, just show that page that was there.
oh, look at there. Well, that's not what I wanted either, but we'll get there. So yeah, this was from Aaron.
Down here.
I'm working on it. You can't go too fast. There we go. But if you're not subscribed to this, this is a really good email. Aaron Prather, he does 6 degrees of robotics. And one thing that was really cool here was he was talking about the robot density report, which at first I was kind of like, okay. And it, just like you guys, I'm like, really? We can't get 2024 data yet? But this is actually the install base, apparently. I say it's the install base of robots. Do they know about our one robot? Do you think they know about it?
I don't think
Do you
they
think
do.
they're listening?
There are people listening.
No. What is this? It says the IF, the International Federation of Robotics. So they listen to this live stream. We have one robot. There you go. We have one.
Ooh.
I did have some questions about this, but I didn't want to nitpick it to death. Is this like robots only like ABB, Yamaha, things like that? Or does it include pick and place systems? But still didn't. There it is.
Every time I hear pick and play,
There it goes. That's what I was trying to get earlier. I don't know why I couldn't manage to get that earlier. But yeah, so this is the current robot density. And I was looking here at South Korea, and I'm like, holy moly. that's some serious robot density. And then Singapore, China, Germany, Japan, Sweden. And yeah, there's, a lot of them are like, well, the United States, don't get me wrong, I believe the United States should be up here at the top, but we're only talking 20 or so to get us pushed into the top 5.
Look at us.
We do need some more robot density, but yeah, it was every week that Aaron puts that out, it's a very interesting. They just give some great insight. So if you haven't subscribed to that, it'd be great if I had a subscribe link right now, wouldn't it? Why do I never have those things ready?
Just look up Aaron Prather. He's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, Aaron Prather, he is.
And he explains stuff that sometimes like I'll read some of this and I'm like, I have no idea what's happening and what they're saying. But Aaron, I will say every time I read it, I get it. I'm like, oh, this is so great.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's doing some great work with standards because really it is kind of the Wild West out there, when it comes to robotics and gripping standards right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those industries that is moving, well, we could say too fast, but it probably needs to move even a little faster. But yeah, so right now there's such a variety of, variations. Words be hard. But there's such a variation in the stall base. Which one? Going back, we do training. It makes training really difficult when over here it's one way and over here it's another way, and it just gets to be a super headache when someone's they got to learn something new every single time that they go out there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, there's Luke. Luke is one of our members. If you didn't know, we have memberships now on YouTube. We're kind of learning what we're going to do with them right now. We did get member number 10 though. Very thankful for member number 10. And we we're still developing it, but that's why Luke has a little fancy TW by his name. And
Oh,
yes, and
Luke, you're
he
fancy.
is fancy, and the colors change the longer you're a member. I can tell you that, but you have to wait and figure out what they are. I think because when I don't know them, but yeah, we're working on. And what I keep telling everyone, we're not going to take anything away. Like this live stream, we're not going to take it away and make it like your own member only. We do some member only, or actually, what I'm thinking about is like maybe a Google Meet for the members. That way, we can really talk back and forth and you can share your screen and instead of us reading in the chat and trying to figure it out. So we are thinking about doing that. Does
I have a more intimate community.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I love it.
Let's see, Joseph Little, we are on a path to upgrade. The blue hose is slightly annoying. Yeah. A serial cable is $1,000. Can't seem to find a way to make my own cable. And it's not great when your number one vendor is eBay.
Ugh.
And Bluehost made by Belden. We call it Bluehost, but I think it's actually a Belden part number. I can't remember. Jeff Kuiper, here in the house. Do you know that part number?
Holler. Just remember when eBay was our vendor at one point?
Man, I tell you, for a while there, I think eBay was everyone's number one vendor.
Especially during COVID.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I am happy that now. Because it was a little ridiculous. Don't get me wrong. Everybody needs to take advantage of opportunities when they can, but when it was a part that you could buy for $1,200 from a distributor and on eBay it's $2,000. That was just people buying and hoarding and reselling.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I went over it because I needed a part kind of similarly to Joseph there. People don't realize that when you come to our training, a lot of times if somebody has a really specific need, we buy it and we'll build really a custom setup just for that one. That's why, like this case, I think I got to spend like $4,000 for this one setup for somebody to come get training where they get training. They're going to pay $3,700. That's why people are like, your training's expensive. I'm like, well, yeah, you're right. It is. But, it'll be what you need when you get here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I was on eBay, all that to say I was on eBay and I was kind of happy to see that prices had come down, I believe, to more reasonable rates on that.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Gosh, that was a tough time.
Yeah.
Talk about Jeremiah saying I'm anxious. Whew, that time made me anxious.
Well, and really, because it was, as a small business, cash flow is like the worry. It is the thing that we can, that can take a company over. It can put a company under, and you know, we're trying to anticipate schools' needs, and they're like, oh, I don't know if we're going to spend it this year. So you buy, 30 PLCs for trainers, and then like I hope they come in.
Sorry.
There we go. Hank's got it there. So yeah, the 9463. Yeah, I know it's some Belden number and used to everybody knew exactly what it was.
Jeremiah, I just want to learn from the best to become the best to provide the best for my family.
You're an awesome guy. That's an awesome statement.
Great. We might quote that.
Well, gosh, can I talk about the whole?
Yep.
Oh man.
Do it.
So it's rare a comment really gets under my skin, especially if it's, and I gotta admit, if you direct a comment towards me, it kind of brushes right off because really, I wake up in the morning and I flip through and I'm like, oh yeah, upset that guy, yeah, upset that guy, okay. When I go on and brush my teeth, that's kind of the way it works. But there's a post that I kind of reacted to it on LinkedIn, but really saying how it's all about how you dress and how you act, and don't be some bum with your sweatpants and your hoodie on. And I was just like, that is not what because when I look now at things, really when I look at posts now, usually I'm like, okay, how does this post reflect on our industry? People get into our industry, and are we guiding people properly, to get to the spot they need to be with the least amount of speed bumps? So first,
A $2,500 suit to
well,
make.
first of all, yeah, when you need a $2,500 suit, you need a Rolex watch. I could shave, I could, but Amber, hey, here's my thing.
I hate
Amber,
it when he shaves.
and I'm rather satisfy Amber than the person sitting beside of me in an airplane. But then you got to fly first class. I guarantee you got to have a fancy car, and
But you
like,
not only have that Rolex, you also have to have your Apple Watch on because your Rolex can't detect your heart rate.
well, and
And
here's
spending
my
all that
thing.
money on suits. Sorry.
He didn't say anything in there about having the proper skills for your job. He didn't say anything in there about, being a, good family person. He didn't say anything in there about, I mean, it might have been, it was one of the shallowest posts I've seen in a while on LinkedIn. I mean, I was like, holy moly. Just, but it was kind of interesting reading the comments. If you go to my LinkedIn, you'll see it there. Because the comments were split even. Half of them are like spot on. Keeps preaching. And I'm like, I mean, and I think that's why I finally had to react. I'm like, half the people here, if you only read half the comments, you're going to be like, oh man. I know I do automation, but I need to go buy a $2,500 suit. That way I can get on a plane and meet somebody.
He said about wearing a tie, he goes, well, except for the ladies. Uh, excuse me? Excuse me.
What if you like wearing ties?
Exactly.
Or what do they call them? Neckerchiefs? Is that what they used to
Oh,
call them?
my gosh.
Yeah. Enola Holmes. That's how I learned about the neckerchief. I think that's.
Now I'm going to be like super hyper aware when I get on a airplane ride with my matching sweatshirt, sweatpants, my nice kicks. Because listen, I pay a lot of money for comfortable shoes, so that's where my $2,500 goes.
Well, and yeah, it was just one of those. It's like, man,
Just rubbed you the wrong way.
yeah. I mean, well, and I think because a lot of people know the T-shirt, the whole red sticker T-shirt started out as really people bashing me about me always wearing a T-shirt. I mean, and I remember when I am showing my age a little bit, but
Not as much as that guy in his pictures.
yeah, you're right, but when I first got in this industry, programmers did show up with a tie, and
That's not safe.
well, one is not say, well, I don't touch equipment. I have my tie on. But
I love your impression.
but I came out of the machining industry, and ever even there was a time you got on me a little bit about my dress, a little bit. But my thing was I'm gonna buy a at the time probably was a $5 T-shirt because if I get drenched in hydraulic oil on the way home, I just throw the T-shirt away and grab another one. And I always had a backup pair of clothes there. But
Hi, Ryan. Thank you.
hey, when is your classes? Let's see. Training class schedule. PLC training class.
Come
Jewel. Also, something we don't talk about a lot is when we're on one of the. I still ask that you please contact us. But on an off week, when you don't see us active on that class schedule, is you're more than welcome to come by and get the dime tour, and we can chat a little bit and everything.
Bring
But,
donuts and pizza. We're good. Just kidding.
so Luke is in this call. So Luke was in our last class. This may have been the first time this ever happened because usually camaraderie. You still have a lot of good camaraderie about Wednesday or so. And usually somebody will bring some food in, and depending on the group, maybe I'll buy pizza, or maybe you never know. But I think Luke was the first one. He brought in donuts, and they were Krispy Kreme donuts, and I'm like, heck yeah! And so then another one comes in, and they brought Dunkin' Donuts in.
Oh, duck donuts.
No, Dunkin' Donuts in.
Oh.
And we're like, oh, we're gonna have plenty of donuts. And then a little bit later, here comes another guy in, Duck Donuts. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys really are thinking alike this week.
And then our class before that, they had Halloween candy.
Yeah, we had insanely too many donuts. But yeah, the class before that, they got a nice Halloween bowl and a variety of Halloween candy. And I'm looking around like, who brought Halloween candy?
It was so sweet. You did enter that in the chat. Very good. Good job, dear.
I think I did.
Harry, yes to comfortable shoes. I'm
Yeah.
age where I So I do dress up occasionally, but I wore so earlier when we showed that picture of the all both of us dressed up, I wore heels that night and I'm still that was 2 weeks ago and I'm still hurting from that. So I put if I put a dress on, I'm wearing kicks. I can't high heels. I'm divorcing my high heels. It's very sad. Can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Hey guys, have you done much on the new optics HMIs?
Um, so I have played with FactoryTalk optics, and it is nothing because hold on, let me finish reading this. Are they how are they compared to the Panel View Plus? Also interested how one might automate sequences from CSV set points and log data. So FactoryTalk Optics is nothing like Panel View Plus or FactoryTalk View Studio. It was acquired a company called Awesome. It's not spelled like awesome, but you pronounce it like awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome. And I can't remember. Maybe somebody can throw it in there. I can't remember how exactly. And when I viewed it, I mean, maybe they had just rebranded it, so there's been a lot of polishing, I'm sure, on it since. But it is much more similar to inductive automation's ignition than it actually is the FactoryTalk View Studio. So I would say there will be a learning curve switching from one to the other. And I don't know. There are a couple. I know Giovanni. He'd been at Automation Fair. Giovanni, did you see anything about FactoryTalk optics there, or how big were they talking about it? Let's see. Then also how one might do automation sequences from CSV set points and log data. So you're going to need some intermediate software, which I think probably goes to your first question. Is you could either use FactoryTalk optics or you could use inductive automation's ignition, or you're going to need some third-party software to bridge your CSV data to your PLC. And we are actually going to be doing that in the automation project from concept to reality series. Um, that has turned into the never-ending recording of videos, and I shouldn't complain because I have, sometimes
It's a lot.
it is a lot, but it's really stimulated my brain in a way that hasn't in a while. Because all of a sudden, one, I'm having to think way outside of the box and how much can we push it. But so on the robot in the series, I guess I'm not giving anything away. This won't come out until probably February, but
Again,
so I don't have a link.
yes.
But so the initial recording, we are programming the points in. Oh, there's Michael texting us. Apparently, he thinks it's cold. But uh, but the initial one, we're actually programming the points in the Scara robot, and just figuring out how to do robot integration with the PLC. Then we shift the points table into an array in Studio 5000 and have it feed the point commands to the robot. And in the final one, we actually are going from Google Sheets to the Compact Logix PLC. I'm sorry, Control Logix PLC. Doesn't matter, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then to the robot. So that'll help you when we get there, but that doesn't help you today. So look at some software to bridge those two. Hey, still working on getting that project in Virginia. Heck yeah, come on, bring the donuts. I'm looking at starting to use Ignition Edge in the near future. I like the pricing and functionality. Would love to get one under my belt so I can comment on the other side of the project. Yeah, and so we are working on an Ignition series that goes along with the automation project from concept to reality. Unfortunately, that is one of the last phases, and it's gotten pushed out. Well, we've gotten a lot. I mean, really, I hope all the content's beneficial because really, we took we've done all the build. Most of the build videos are out, but then we were recording how we individually configured every component. So how to configure a Siemens Scalance Ethernet switch. We created an add-on instruction to make the data easier to understand, how to configure a banner safety relay, talk a little bit about, the safety pieces. It has, but that's the only downside to it. It has such a variety of equipment, which I think will be good for our training in the end and hopefully beneficial to y'all, but it's made it very time consuming.
Indeed.
Very.
Indeed.
Yeah. But Trying to think. Let's see. So we have one more class this year, December 6th.
And we are doing a little something at the local
Yes, yeah. So
tech school.
we try to go to the school every year and talk a little about PLC. So we're going to spend a week there talking about programming and trying to get plant some seeds. Hopefully,
I didn't know Thanksgiving was next week until my father called.
No,
I was like, oh, that's next week.
am I cooking a turkey?
I would love that. Tim makes the best turkey.
No, I should make a turkey. I haven't done that in a while.
I know, you should just anyway. Like, we'll eat that turkey and then you should make another one because I'm done. I don't want to cook anymore.
You don't want to cook anymore.
Mm-mm.
Oh, what are we doing for dinner now?
Oh, I was going to make taco soup.
Oh, you are cooking.
I am. But even just because I am cooking doesn't mean I want to cook. Just kidding. I love to cook. It's my stress reliever.
Mm-hmm.
Just as long as I have beer while I'm cooking.
Yeah. But yeah, so the big thing, I guess, for the rest of the year is we're making a lot of upgrades here. So
We've been making a lot of upgrades this year, period. Like, we've
Yeah,
come a long way.
we moved a lot of stuff around. I don't even made any upgrades.
Well, we have come a long way because you had a returning student who was here, what, 2 or 3 years ago? So he walked in and was like, whoa.
Yeah, a little. Well, we are. Yeah, it was a little more. Well, we didn't have the back two stations at that point.
Mm.
But no, we moved a lot of stuff around because yeah, really we had to make room for that for the new training cell. But no, so now we're working. The next two big upgrades is one, we're making a big networking upgrade, trying to get to where we can talk more cybersecurity, a little bit, just dabble into that. Just more of what do you need to know? What are best practices? Please stop putting cell modems in a control panel type discussion. Uh, and and then a safety upgrade. So the machine trainer is going to get a compact guard Logix. Right now it has a compact Logix PLC and it has a configurable safety relay. We're going to put all that into one and try to keep it running in between classes, which that is the most challenging machine in here by far. You don't know with the unfamiliar machines what it's called, and it's designed to mimic walking up to a machine you've never seen before. It has no documentation, no wiring diagrams, no anything, no wire labels, and it also has 40 switches to break different parts of it. And so every time we go to work on it, it decides usually to break 4 or 5 pieces. So we'll see how that goes. Let's see. Garcia, hi, Tim and Amber. I wanted to ask, what are some good automation expos, events to attend? Trying to get my 2025 ready. Okay, well, actually, now going back to Aaron is, isn't this a page I was trying to get just a little bit ago?
You did get it.
Why was that such a struggle the first time?
I don't really know.
Okay.
We are struggling, period.
So at the bottom of every email, now this is robotics, admittedly, but at the bottom of every one of Aaron Prather's new newsletters, keep scrolling, he has upcoming events. Now most of these are robotics, we'll say centered, but at the same time, there's obviously Automate on there. There's a few in there. Other ones, I was just talking to Luis Narvez at Siemens, and you have, oh man, I even put it on the calendar because I was like, that was interesting enough that I wanted to think about it.
Oh, I saw, yes.
When was that, June? June, the Siemens Realize Live.
Yeah.
That sounded really interesting. It'll be June 2nd through 5th. But what I really thought, Amber, is
Yes, Tim.
and Automate is May 5th through 13th.
May 12th through, yeah. You said May 5th through the 13th.
Oh, May 12th through 13th. And oh, man, where did it go? Did I not put it on the calendar? Oh, because I was like, Could I convince Amber to do that?
Yes, yes, you can.
I can. You don't even know what it is. All right, there it is. June 30th through
Yes.
July 2nd. Siemens, there's also a Siemens Realize Live in Amsterdam.
Yep.
It's like, man, can I pull off us going to Amsterdam?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Yes. I don't know if we can actually pull it off, but I'm glad you approved. But
I was about going to Pack Expo.
yeah, so Pack Expo is another one. Maybe somebody can drop in the chat. Pack Expo just happened a few weeks ago. So
Mhm.
I think it's September, October, it seems like, somewhere in there. IMTS, if you want to large scale kind of zooming out on the whole manufacturing industry, it's a good one to go to.
That's 2026.
Automation Fair is usually November, second-ish week in November.
It's gonna be in Chicago
It's
next
in
year.
Chicago. She knows more about that part than I do.
Oh,
But yeah, so they're
I know too much.
she's the more the calendar person. Yeah. Never trust a date I ever say. You never know what I'm getting ready to say. See, Ben, the safety controllers are now pretty much cost to cost with non-safety equipment. The only downside is less non-safety memory. Not sure why people wouldn't default to still controllers now. And I think in the next decade you're going to be 100% right. I think a lot of so much of machine design is copy and paste that you always have that battle to deal with. Uh, we don't have a safety PLC trainer yet, so that kind of goes with that. Now we don't have a safety PLC trainer though, mainly because I really feel that if you're going to do training like that, you need to go something like TUV Rhineland safety certification or something. And we don't. Yeah, maybe we should have. I don't know. Should we have a safety version of our PLC trainer?
Hmm.
In other words, yeah, because it will here right on the view. There's our trainer. And so yeah, we use the L16, but yeah, the compact guard would fit there okay. I don't know. It's always hard to say on stuff like that whether we should do that or not.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. I definitely see more, and here's where I gauge things a lot of times is, when someone comes in, I ask them, go ahead and send me your program if you want, if you have specific questions. And when they do, I kind of get looking through there. And probably the two big things I've seen grow the fastest in programs is one, they do have safety tasks in them now, and IO Link. Those are kind of the two that I'm seeing more and more.
Mm-hmm.
So
Should we can we mention our little gathering we had here?
absolutely, I'm gonna actually go grab some coffee while you do.
Oh. So we decided to have our first vendor open house, local vendor open house. It was a precious group of people, and I loved every minute of it. And what was even better is they were all competitors, and they all sat here and talked to each other and caught up and spoke about how they could collaborate with one another. So I did a podcast yesterday, more to come on that, with our good friend Ann Wyatt, Workforce 4.0. I'm going to be the last one of the season this year, but I said on the podcast we should take the word competitor and change it to collaborator. So we're not, constantly competing against each other because we, at this point in our industry, manufacturing, need each other now more than ever. And so that was just a good example of just all these local vendors from different manufacturing companies coming together and having a good time. And we ordered insanely too much food.
Well, and the big thing is, this is why I stress so much, to people when usually they're reaching out to me. They're visible in their job. And they're like, yeah, I got to get some skills. Got to get out of this place. I'm like, well, one, don't burn your bridges. Don't burn your bridges. Just stay cool.
Yes.
And, and talk to the employer about what you're hoping to do. Now, it may be that they have no way to get you there, but one, when you leave, then they know why you left instead of you just disappearing one day. But I think most of those vendors had worked somehow together at some point because, it is a small industry. We move around a lot.
I know a lot of people, when they were coming through the doors, they were like, see it. And it was a precious evening for sure.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, I think we're going to do another one. Not sure what it's going to be yet. Probably we're thinking about having kind of themed open houses because a lot of if you ever come here on a training week, that's why I said, you're more than welcome to come on an off week.
Just check our
Yeah,
just check
check
our
the schedule
schedule.
and then email me because if it's a training week, usually I stop you at the door and
Yeah.
see you later. He goes, yeah. I mean, I want zero interruptions. Somebody's taking a week out of their time to come here. I want to give them 100% of my attention.
Exactly.
And but yeah, so I kind of want to do one based around educators. Now I don't know how I pull that off exactly, but I kind of want to. I kind of want to, like, could we do one? No, this is a big could, because one, we work with schools all over the U.S. I don't think they're going to come here for an evening, but could we start kind of a ball rolling on, kind of getting them together, one to understand their needs from their point of view, but also, it is a different spill, I think, when you're trying to show an educator how to deliver content on how to program PLCs compared to just telling you guys, hey, let's drag down and go look for a one, things like that.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. Let's do it.
Well,
Listen, I'm all about everything next year. I'm just tired
Next
from
year.
this past year.
we'll be tired next year too.
Yeah.
All right. I believe that's about it. Amber, you got anything else?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. We probably won't be on next week. And the week after that, we have a training class, so we'll be on that week. So we'll probably see you in 3 weeks.
I know, December. It's
Yeah.
insane.
All right. Well, have a great weekend. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Be safe.
Yep. Bye.